you can use a ruler or a piece of paper to split it into quarters again. I don't even know if you can see that. There we go. Now remember, always do things light at first, light until you get it right. But for me, I'm doing it harder so that you can see it. Oh, that was a pretty good one. Make 2 different little carrot marks so that you can use them to try to estimate your wedges. I'm gonna cross my ruler between that mark and the middle of the circle that I've made, and then do it again. Line up that mark with the circle, the middle of the circle that I've made. Draw. I think those are pretty good. So I'm gonna do it again on the other side. Maybe a little bit less. Right there. Circle, mark that I've made, middle of the circle, mark that I've made, middle of the circle. Now I have to warn y'all that oil pastels are super messy. They are the ones that you want to have a paper towel on standby for. I actually have not opened these ones yet. I'm super excited. It looks like we have the full spectrum of the rainbow, which is nice. We don't have to mix up our own purple, even though we probably will anyways, because it's fun. And I actually really like using a paper towel because it is helpful. I'm gonna get these out. Let's take a look at these. Nice. Nice. We've got the whole rainbow here. All right. So, let's see what we got. Let's actually zoom out a little bit. I'm going to put these right here. Why not? So, first, we number it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to start with our primary colors, which, of course, are red, yellow, and blue. So let's start with red on number 3 here. You'll notice that these are kind of like crayons, but way messier. Go ahead and do this pure red here. There we go. And then yellow over here on the, ooh, was it 7? No. Ooh, I might have done this differently. I totally did. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're gonna do it on 7. Did it different than the other ones. Oops. That's okay. Here, and then blue goes in 1, 2, 3, 11. All right. Then we have our secondary colors, which of course are the ones that go directly in between our primary colors. So if you add red and yellow together, you are going to get orange right here. So I'm going to take the shortcut and use the actual orange here. And then we're going to use green, blue, and yellow, make green, and we're going to use the darker of the green because this is a yellow green. See how it's right next to yellow and its tray? It's because it's very much a yellow green. So this is a more true green. And of course purple, which is between blue and red. All right. Now we're going to do the tertiary colors. which is between each one. So between purple and red, you get a red purple, right? More red purple. So we're gonna do some purple. We're gonna start mixing. Then we get some red, right? Some purple, some red. I think I want a little bit more purple before I start mixing. Good. And when you start mixing, you can either do your finger or you can do a paper towel. But one thing about oil pastels, a lot of my students leave all of these white spaces, and I'm like, no, fill out the whole space. Kind of like how you see with this purple, you have some of these white spaces here. I want you to go ahead and smudge those in so that we don't have any white space with our oil pastel. Even here it seems a little bit light, so I'm going to add a little bit more purple here, a little bit more red, and smudge it. So we're hoping that we get a pretty clean, whoops, what happened here? Let's just, if you do it too much, you start running into troubles. I'm going to go ahead and use my handy dandy paper towel, and looky there, we have it. Maybe a little bit more red that I can smudge in, and then what we're hoping for is a good even balance between red and purple, right? All right, so now we have between red and orange, which would be a red-orange. Now red is a much more powerful color than orange is, so we're going to use a little bit of red, a little bit more orange to start filling that in. And notice how I have some purple still on my finger. I can use a different finger, or I can just go ahead and use a different part of my paper towel to smudge this in. We don't really want purple in our orange red because it doesn't belong there. But I can go wipe off my hand, my finger, so I can wipe it off and keep going, or I can use the paper towel. Obviously I didn't add enough, so we're going to keep going. Don't be afraid to add a lot of oil pastel on here. Really color it in. You can see that that red is really overtaking that orange, so I'm going to have to add a lot more orange. Remember how I said red was a powerful color? This is why. All right, and remember, if you see those white marks on the red, to go ahead and smudge those out. Same with our orange. Go ahead and smudge those out. And don't worry about smudging out of the lines or over the numbers or anything like that. Those are just references for when we use it later. All right. Tertiary color between orange and yellow would be, you're right, yellow-orange. Now, orange is a more powerful color than yellow, so we are not going to add a ton of orange. And you can see that my orange pastel still has a little bit of red on it, so I'm going to take it, I'm going to wipe it off on my paper towel a little bit. Lightly adding some orange, wiping off my fingers, and blending this in. Making sure that I'm taking up the whole space. You could even start blending it a little bit towards and in like that. Nice. All right, so here we can see we have a nice clean purple, red, orange, orange, yellow. We're just gonna keep going. So we get our dark orange. Sorry, dark green. Miss Berryhill's tired today. Woo. A lot of yellow. It seems I might have used too much green. I'm just gonna really fill this in with yellow. See if we can't get that nice yellow-green color. And go ahead and rub that right in. Blend that right in. Nice. I love how when you blend two colors together, you get such a more rich, flavorful color, right? So you get a lot more depth to it. Whereas if I were to use this color right here and rub it in, it doesn't, it's the same, it's basically the same color, but it doesn't quite have that like oomph that this does. I really like that this has a lot of nice variation to it. It's kind of like the difference between dyeing your hair one color and giving your hair highlights, right? So I really like this way of doing it. Poisonally. All right. So moving on. Color between green and blue is a blue-green. Remember, with your tertiary colors, you always put the primary color first in the title. So blue is a more powerful color than green, so we're gonna give it a nice dose of green with some blue added in for effect. And a mix. I might have underestimated how much blue I needed. So let's add some more blue. And if you don't get it the first try, y'all, you can do this again. Like, it's great practice for mixing your colors on your own. Making sure that our blue is covering the whole thing. So you can see all the way around. I don't see any white except for right here because I've gone ahead and mixed these in really well. There aren't any white spots, right? And then our last one, blue and purple. Add some blue, add some purple. Try to mix those two evenly, I think. Might need some more blue, or purple, I mean. So this, when we say indigo, this is what we mean. This blue-purple is indigo, and then violet is another way to say purple. All right, and there we have it. Here is our color wheel. Nice work, y'all. Any questions? Let me know. Make sure that you wash off your hands before you do anything else.